Hello, everybody. Hey, how are you doing? Welcome to Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. I'm Rob, and it's Monday, June 24th, 2024, 5 in the morning, California time. So, as you've seen previously on Old Style Classics Baseball Cards, I just did a whole set of 3 videos on the post serial cards. And because I've been doing my little MSA run of oddball cards, and we're getting near the end of the MSA run. I got another set to show you today, and then another one after that, and then any MSA stuff will be just hit or miss one-offs and here and there, so then we can move on to some other manufacturers, like Topps or Denny's and stuff like that. But anyway, so in honor of Willie Mays here, who passed away this week, or last week, I guess, a couple days ago, when I was digging through this box to find these cards that we're going to do, came across this 1986, turn back the clock to 1971. So figured I'd show that. I think the guys on Hobby Palooza did one of their episodes on that was about these turn back the clocks. So I saw that. So another Willie Mays to show you guys in honor of Willie. Rest in peace. Yesterday we went out. If you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, leave a message, tell me what you think of them. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind watching those post videos, I know they were pretty extensive because post is run from 1960 to at least 2002. Not every year, but they've had cards over that span. So please watch those. And any of my videos, of course. Went to the store yesterday. I was going to go to the baseball card shop, but they were closed. But I went to the other store and they had a whole bunch of these. They had Series 2 and still had Bowmans, so I'm surprised the Bowmans are still on the shelf. But I felt like opening some of these because I haven't done it. So anyways, today, folks, we are going to continue on with our MSA, Michael Schechner and Associates, oddball cards. They're the oddball specialists. And I think we're even going to have a pack opening for you guys. Because if you've seen, like on the post serial cards, a lot of times when I would get some of these cards, I wouldn't even bother opening the package, because you could see right through it and you knew what was in there, so there was no point in opening it. And then plus 20 years, 30 years later, we can look at these cards and the packaging that came in, which is interesting to me. So I always thought that would be interesting to somebody else in the future. And who knows, maybe these videos will be around after I'm dead, or 50 years from now, or 100 years from now, and people are, talking about baseball cards, hopefully still. They'll wonder how some of these things were packaged, just like we wonder about the distribution of some of these other cards that, like strip cards, or, how do these packages come out on some of these oddball card sets, the anonymous and stuff like that. What did the caramels look like and all that? So that's why I tend to, like, every now and then try to save some of the packaging. But anyway, so today what we're going to do on these MSAs, as I kind of showed in one of those other videos, we are going to move on to the next set of MSA cards. Now these guys did cards for, I'd say, somewhere around a decade. You could find these consistently in the product. Now I didn't get a lot of these because, one, it was probably around the time I was, just getting out of high school. And so I was like paying my own way, right? So to buy this product was pretty expensive even back then. So that people would be the Jimmy Dean. So when you went to the freezer and you would get like the Jimmy Dean, not so much like the sausages, but like the, crescent egg, you know, the microwave, like Jimmy Dean sandwiches and stuff like that, you know, like the biscuit, sausage, egg sandwich kind of thing, or whatever. So they would have these, but if just like today, if you go and look for like breakfast stuff like Jimmy Dean or whatever, whoever's making the like croissant, egg and cheese frozen meal thing that you can put in the microwave before you go to work, you know, they're pretty expensive. Back then they were pretty expensive. I think they were like, even back then it was like $5 to get like a box of like 4 sandwiches, and it, you know, when you were just getting out of high school and scraping by, so to speak. Um, yeah, you didn't want to spend $5 on that when you can go get eggs, like English muffins and cheese and the sausage, you know, like a Walmart version or something like that, and save, you know, you can make like 10 of them for the price you were paying for the convenience of this one. But if they had baseball cards, I would get them. So anyways, it's very similar. They tend to be like this. This is 91. MLB Players Association. MSA, Michael Schnickner and Associates. 425 there, and there's Barry Bonds card for you. It looks like he's still in the Pirates at that point in time. So, and it's got the facsimile signature. Now Jimmy Dean was cool about one thing they did, but we'll show you that here near the end of this video. So by this time, as you've seen, I've been collecting oddball cards out of like products. You know, definitely the 84 Roston Perinas, but then there was a layoff until like 86, 87, which seemed like a lifetime to me between the two, but being young at the time. But anyways, from like about, let's say 86, 87, 88, 89 to around 90, whenever I'd get an oddball, I'd probably open it. And then by the time this came around, like 91 and all that, I started to be more conscious of not opening stuff. So that's why you see a lot of these unopened. So I believe I picked up most of these my own self over there, probably at Walmart up on Eubank. But I might have picked up a few of these cellophane packs at a card shop as well. But I did buy, you know, when I could, I would buy this stuff. But I didn't spend as much money on this kind of stuff as I would like stuff that came in cereal or something like that. So there you go, Will the Thrill Clark. I like the little Jimmy Dean double boots. You know, it's like a J and a D. It's got a pair of boots that give him that logo. And Jimmy Dean. He's a pretty funny guy. Rest in peace, Jimmy Dean. There you go, San Francisco Giants first baseman Will Clark. It appears that you get 3 cards, I believe. We'll take a look here. Yep, I think 3 cards. And then, hey, look at that. That's the Big Hurt. You mean Frank Thomas? More like the Big Hunk. Alright, gotta keep doing it, people. So, there you go. That's a early Frank Thomas. Look at that. Is that a rookie card? Because, wow. Rookie-ish. I mean, he only played 60 games before, so that would have been a call-up year, so we'll have to find out about old Frank Thomas. That's a nice one. Still protected in its packaging. Alright, this guy. Barry Bonds, free Bonds fans. You Bonds people who like to defend Barry Bonds. I don't defend Sammy Sosa, but he was a great player. Shouldn't have cheated, allegedly. Alright, MSA 17 of 25. Ricky Henderson, so there you go, a lot of Ricky fans. Hall of Famer. Never Hall of Famer. right. Moving right along. Here you go. Doc Gooden, Dwight Gooden, and Cal Ripken Jr. So there you go. So those are nice looking cards. You know, they're just simple. They're somewhere in the middle, I would say. They're nothing special. They're nicer than some of the not nicer ones, but kind of average. Backs are pretty cool. But you know, this is 91, so they should be a little better by then. And then, hey, there you go, Barry Larkin. All right, Cincinnati. Obviously, no logos here, so just Players Association. 25 card set. So interesting. Interesting odd number. Yeah, how they came up with 25 when the sheets were usually 11, 22, 33, or 44 card sheets. But who knows? So, anyone else collect these? Hey, Cecil Fielder. So there you go. All right, folks. So before we move on to a different season, then I have one of these, Cal Ripken Jr. and Dwight Gooden there. But one card facing, both cards facing the back. So let's do a card opening, people. So from 91 to now, 2001, 2011, 21, so 33 years. 33 years, these cards. I have never opened one of these. I want to say this might be the first year that Jimmy Dean did them, but it wouldn't surprise me had they done stuff before that. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at one of these cards, folks. Suppose I don't have any other ones loose from this, so apparently in 91 I was more conscious of not opening these packs. So there you go. And keep that nonetheless. So yeah, you do get 3 cards. Well, we don't know who the third one is yet. Alright. So there it is, people. Much more pristine shape than being out. Dwight Gooden Signature Edition. 25 of 25. Not sure how the collation works on this. Really nice card. Pretty decent shape. Typical card, typical stock. Pretty thin stock. Not super thin, like standard 80s, 90s kind of like flagship stock. Let's see. Yeah, I would say very similar. This one's a little weaker. This one feels a little sturdier, but no thicker, if that makes any sense. Alright, then we saw that we had the other card here would have been Cal Ripken Jr. So there you go, Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. So probably should put that in some kind of sleeve. Top loader, not that it's worth a lot of money, but like we say, in 100 years, who wouldn't like to have that card in that condition? Cal Ripken Jr. 15 to 25, so they must just be randomly put in these packs. Hey people, if I talk a little slow, go ahead and turn your speed up on your TV to like 1.25 or 1.5, and then I'll sound normal like I'm talking like this. Hey look everybody, it's Cal Ripken Jr. Oh, ooh. It's not me, folks. Not always. Alright, so Cal Ripken Jr. And then the other card you didn't see was Ozzie Smith. I guess we could have pack searched that, but Ozzie Smith, a little off-center there. But like I said, 100 years, somebody will like that card. That'll be the person like, hey, I'm okay with having an 8 when the 10 cost 20,000 crypto future currencies, and this one cost 1,000 crypto world money units, whatever, 20 of 25 MSA. So you know I love my MSA stuff. So let's see here. It looks like the winner here would be the Cal Ripken Jr., I would assume. So let's protect Cal. Put him in the middle. We'll put that back in here. That'll protect it for the time being a little more than not. Alright, there's not a lot of cards in this set. I don't have a lot of cards from these Jimmy Deans, as you've seen, and most of them were packaged up. Alright, it does not want to go back in here, folks. Hold on a second. Alright, there it is. Can't put the genie back in the bottle or whatever, right? Alright, so things off just a little bit. Alright, now moving on to 1992. As you've seen, these were 91s. 1991. Alright, so 92, definitely a step up. Hey people, that's Frank Thomas, Hall of Famer Frank Thomas. Shall we do it, people? You mean the big hurt? Or like the big hunk? Oh, and she'll like it too. She could love that commercial. Alright, Frank Thomas. Those are nearly neat looking cards. Definitely stepped it up from one year to the next. Wow. Just night and day, huh? Definitely 90s. So I guess 91, kind of consider that kind of the end of the 80s era style cards, which I like 80s era style cards, but 91 was definitely very 90s junk wax era, so to speak. Fancier cards, you know, obviously overproduced, but we're not talking about that with the oddballs. You never know what the oddball run would be, but that's a really nice looking card. Yeah, I like that a whole lot. That's for a more modern looking, not old style card. Modern for that time. Very 90s like, but it's really well balanced. It's not too busy. You know, this being here looks cool. Color match and all that. Even for airbrushed. Now the backs look a little old school. You know, that has that typical oddball 80s kind of back, so that they're like, we're going to step it up on the front, but we'll save the money by sticking with the old style on the back there. So MSA 4 of 18, Frank Thomas. So second year card there. Let's see what he did in his first full year. 32 home runs with 380, 318 batting average. Pretty good. Pretty darn good. Wow, 178 hits. That's pretty solid year. Wow. Frank finished third in voting for the 91 American League Most Valuable Player. Thomas attended Auburn University, where he participated in both baseball and football. So, wow, Frank Thomas off to a running start there in his career. Good for him. All right, here's somebody, well, let's go with this one. Another Hall of Famer, Tony Gwynn. Nice looking card still. That looks cool. Kind of Stadium Club-ish, and I'm not a big fan of Stadium Club, but I do like this because it's got this to bring it some balance. It's just really well designed card. Props to MSA, that just beautiful. They did a great job on the front of these cards. And this is coming from Rob at Old Style Classics Baseball Cards, and this is definitely not an old style classic baseball card in the sense that I'm talking about, like pre-war tobacco era looking stuff. That is a new style classic baseball card, and those are really good looking cards. Once again, the backs are simple, but that's okay. Usually the back's not what you care about, usually, but it's still nice. I mean, it's still cool. It just doesn't particularly match the front as well, so it's a little, throws you a little bit, but not too bad. Or am I crazy? All right, Tony Gwynn, San Diego State guy there, and NBA Clippers, San Diego. All right, moving on, folks. Here's one. A lot of super collectors. The Yankees guys, Don Mattingly. Still a great looking card. Donnie Baseball. New York Yankees, first base. 8 of 18. So now they reduced down to 18 card set. That's interesting. From 25 to 18, so maybe that's where they were able to spend a little more money doing a fancier design, but by reducing the cards as well, keeping the backs a little blander, I guess, and reducing the number of cards, so they were able to produce a higher quality front. I would imagine that's how that all works out. That's a beautiful card. Alright, and then as normal, folks, what are these? 92s, alright. And just so you know, we got, this is how they came in the packaging. And you'll see what the packaging looks like in a minute. There's a tease for you. So there's Kenny Lofton, and he's 92 rookie. That's pretty cool. They added that little thing there. And then Pat Listach. So I'm not sure who that is. And then if we wanted to, you could probably card search this. You know, push that up and see who the middle card is. But not going to do that. Don't want to put a pinch in there. So that's what it looks like. So now let's move on, people. Next would be 93. Alright, we'll save that one. These are very much a little more Stadium Club-ish. They're still nice. But it's weird. It's interesting. So you got like the Donnie Baseball here, and then the 93. That's very more Stadium Club-like because it doesn't have this thing here to give you something other than the full-on photo. And, you know, they just reduced it down to this part here, which still looks good, but I just feel this has a better balance. Like, you know, you're looking at a card. This one's just a little too much of just picture, and maybe that's why I don't like Stadium Club so much. They're great looking cards, but you know, if those other ones were an A+ on the front, I would drop this down to an A. But some people would probably go the other way. It's all personal taste. But I just think that that other thing there just adds a little balance. You know, this down here and something going on here without being too busy. And to me, this is just too much card, too much photo. But they're still beautiful cards. I'm just telling you the difference between the years. But the backs are definitely now they're glossy, so they're not that papery back like the last ones. So you'd think that they're stepping up on the back, but it's kind of I like it and I dislike it. I mean, obviously it looks kind of cheap or cheesy, but there's something cool about that because it's an oddball issue. It's bright, so I like that. It's just really weird, and that's just, it's weird in a sense that it's cool weird. I mean, I could see how somebody's like, oh my god, that's so stupid or ugly, but I think it's great. It's just very MSA. I mean, there's no other way to put it. So I like and dislike that at the same time. It makes me laugh, so it's memorable. That's kind of funny. So that's pretty neat. Alright, Hall of Famer. Here we go, George Brett. So I don't know when Stadium Club first came out. You know, same thing here. Let's see where he's at in his career at this point in time. 3,005 hits, it looks like that says. Alright, and .298 home runs, .307 batting average. So definitely a 3,000 hit Hall of Famer, and for average, playing since '73. Wow. He was playing basically my whole life up to that point in time. All right, George Brett, and they're glossy. All right, not going to spend too much more time on that. And then in honor of my Cubs losing last night on a special occasion where they revealed the Ryne Sandberg statue. And of course, they had to lose, much like the Giants losing at Rickwood Field, that Negro League game honoring the Negro League and Willie Mays, who had just died a couple days before. And of course, the Giants lose that special game. And they lost the same day Willie died to my Cubbies here. And so, of course, the Cubs released his statue of him playing defense, waiting for, in his second baseman stance. And then, of course, the Cubs lose to the Mets. So, very Chicago Cubs thing to do. Not step it up when they need to. All right, and I don't know what's going on with the Cubs. They've become a losing, winning 4 out of 6 game, losing 4 out of 10 game, no, winning 4 out of 10 game team. So sub 500, play 20 games, they probably win 9 games. That kind of team right now. I don't know what's happened to them. All right, so Rhino, I guess that's very 90s kind of thing, that whole silhouette, or like reverse silhouette art. When I went to the antique store day, people, and I was going to go get some more of those pre-war, those like train cards, but the other little antique store was open, so I was digging through some magazines looking for the card that I want. And then I came across the box, and they had like a Bowman, that first year Bowman full set, and some packs, like a 90 Dunross kind of stuff like that. But then they had some Jimmy Dean, not Jimmy Dean, they had some Denny's packs. So I got those for like $3. And I got like 5 packs for like $3. Nothing special, but just more of the same thing. Like, show you guys some the Denny's when I get to Denny's. Now Denny's is a big set. They did those Grand Slam cards for many a years, the holograms and different brands and stuff like that. I can't remember what my point was about that, but nevertheless, Ryne Sandberg, hopefully he gets better from his cancer. Alright folks, so next we are going to move on to the 95 set, and the 95 is the all-time greats collector set. So those are cool cards, so they added a little more balance back into it just with that little line and moving that stuff in there. So I think that's pretty nice. They just had to to break up the photo a little bit. So this is 95, and as you can see there, it's got this autographed baseball card offer, 95 all-time greats collector set, reviews, see reversed for the order form there. So you got to see your Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt there, and show you what a card looks like. The other great Cubby, Billy Williams. So they definitely went to some I think retired players maybe, and there's a reason why, which you'll see here in a minute. And so the back's definitely a lot more modern, so they definitely stepped it up on the back there. It's got the ghost image here of him, so it's just night and day. But not that these are not, it's glossy, but a little busy. But Billy Williams, 426 home runs, 290 average, and 2,700 hits. All right, hang on just a second. All right, thanks folks. So thanks for hanging in there. So this is another one of those situations. It's 95. I don't believe they had the falling out with the Players Association yet, but it might have been brewing or stirring up at that time, because it just says Major League Players Association Alumni, or Major League Baseball Players Alumni. So even a different kind of little logo down there. So I don't know if MSA did this for them and they just were left off the card, or if the Players Association, this is one of the things that pissed off MSA because they went off on their own. But this is the alumni, so they may not have had a license with them or an agreement with MSA. So I don't know if this is MSA. They very much are basically the same print quality here on the front, and so from one year to the next, I don't know. So that's a question mark right there. And so just so you know, what you got here, this little advertisement in there, I do have one of those loose. So autographed baseball card offer. And so let's take a look at the products first. And so all these Jimmy Dean things, this is basically how you could have picked this stuff up over the years. Alright, so there's some coupons that you can get. Now, you wouldn't have gotten them in these, but you would have got cards and stuff like those. You know, the little breakfast sandwiches, or the kind of like corn dog, like a pancake covered sausage that looks like a corn dog. You know, the heat and serves, or the meal sandwich thing. You got the little Jimmy Dean's collector set thing there. Then the other side, same thing, collect all 6. So there's reduced down to 6 all-time greats baseball cards. Unfortunately, folks, the coupons have expired. Let's see, almost 30 years ago. And here's the little order form. So that's the front. And unfortunately, this has passed. But so this was a thing that they started doing. So it expired in December '95. Mail-in certificate. And so if you notice, in the mid 90s, there was a lot of product issue autographed baseball cards. So these companies would get a few guys, Hall of Famers or retired people, but usually Hall of Famer, and then they would have them sign card. And then just for $7 you can get like a Billy Williams or Al Kaline or Catfish Hunter autograph card. And then he would ask you how many you wanted, and they usually, I think they came with a certificate of authenticity, but you needed to turn in 2 of these things, you know, plus shipping and handling, I'm sure. But that's super cool, and that's where you can go out there and you know, you can find these autograph Hall of Famers. You know, like I got Billy Williams and Ernie Banks, not from Jimmy Dean. That was one of the options I was looking into, but I saw the Canadian Club whiskey autograph cards, and they just looked beautiful, so I ordered those. So it's just neat. Not too sure what's going on with MSA. This could be MSA without the logo on it, or it could be the young players moving on. But and that's the beginning of that fallout. But anyways, there it is, folks. So there you got your Jimmy Dean crazy cards, beautiful cards, and so just awesome stuff. And best wishes to Ryne. Hope he gets better. So anyways, sorry that went on a little bit there, folks. One more similar size thing of MSAs to do, and then I think we're mostly done with the MSAs, and it'll just be random singles here and there. Alright, everybody, so I hope you guys enjoy this MSA stuff as much as I do. Nothing like picking up cards as you go along. Very nostalgic for me. All right, thanks. See you.